Hey, guess what I'm doing today? I'm going to be spinning some honey out of these frames that I pulled from my honey supers and made apiary. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I'm going to be rendering honey from these frames here in my centrifuge I have over here. We're going to filter it through these screens, and we're going to pour them in these jars right here, and then I'm going to sell them $10 a jar. This is a messy job, so I got my apron on. I got my table covered with white trash bags because honey is very messy when you're working with it. For this job, I've got, of course, my honey in a honey super, my frames of honey. I've got my honey, well, it's a rake, honey claw. It breaks the wax caps off of the honey, opens that up before we put them in the centrifuge so we can spin it out. And once we spin the honey out, we'll collect it, we'll let it strain through these wire screens here. There's a double screen in there, and it'll filter out the wax caps and other products that you don't want in your honey. We'll filter it in here. We'll take the honey and we'll pour it in these little jars, and then we'll top these jars off with a lid, and then they're ready for sale, $10. So let's get started. I'm gonna remove my lids, put them aside, take a frame, set it over this, and rake the comb. You want to break that wax. You do both sides. And you set it down in there. There's a little honeybee that thinks it's going to get some food in there. We're going to get a second frame. We're going to spin it. I hope you guys appreciate what a beekeeper goes through just to get the honey from the honeycomb to the shelf for you. Yeah, we get stung. I got stung myself just a little bit ago, so we're going to go through and let this settle for about an hour in the sun. Let the sun soften the honey, liquefy it a little bit more, and then we'll filter it down through these filters. I've got two filters here. It's a double filter. One's a finer screen than the other. It's going to filter out all the stuff you don't want in your honey. We're going to filter it into this bucket, and from this bucket we're going to, or pitcher, we're going to pour it into these jars right here and put a nice little lid on it and get it marketed $10 a bottle. So those wax foundation combs I do not like. They disintegrate in there. You get a bunch of wax in there. I don't like them. I prefer the plastic foundation as opposed to the wax foundation. The plastic foundation will hold up and you can spin the honey. You're just getting the honey spun off with these. Love these. So I'm setting these frames, spun frames aside. As you notice, the wax foundation is pretty spun out, and that's why I don't like these. I'm just going to set them aside and let the bees take care of it. They'll clean it all up. Look at, they're busy already. Even a honeybee or a bumblebee is there. We're also going to let them clean the centrifuge up, and then any honey that's sitting out, we're just going to leave it out and let the bees take it back to the honeycomb. And here's more bees cleaning up the honey that dripped off to the side there. Yeah, they're gonna get some easy meals out of that one. And then there's my other frames. I'm gonna open this up and filter some honey out. Hopefully we won't have any bees to go with it. So this is a good example of the novice beekeeper first time extracting honey. Fail. Okay, this is a huge fail, but I'm gonna have a little bit of success because I'm gonna get some jars of honey out of this because I did extract some honey, but my big fail is don't do it outside. You're gonna attract every bee in the whole county. Yeah, you can see here. Do it indoors without the presence of bees, and then stick your equipment outdoors and let the bees clean it up for you. You don't have to wash it down. They'll do the whole job themselves. Yeah, this is I'm embarrassed. I'm really embarrassed. This is my first time extracting honey from the centrifuge this way, and I did everything that I thought was right except for one aspect. I did it outside. Don't do it outside. I also want to point out it is a messy, messy job. It's really sticky. I've had to wash my hands frequently because of the stickiness of it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to create an environment in which it's going to be clean so I can render them in a safe enclosed space, but not in my wife's kitchen. I may do it in one of the RVs, something that's totally wipe downable and cleanable so I can at least get away from the bee population and keep them away from the honey that I'm harvesting. So this honey extraction adventure was a total fail. Total fail. I kind of did everything right except for this one thing, and that was doing it outside. I didn't think outside you're exposing yourself to every bee in the county. And yep, every bee in the county is here. So yeah, my friend, he did tell me that don't clean up anything, just leave everything out, and the bees will clean it up. And these frames that had a little bit of honey and stuff in it, they cleaned it up really good. Any honey that was spilt on the table, they cleaned it up. They're cleaning up the honey extraction right now. They are swarming. It seems like every bee from both my hives, worker bee from the feral hives, all the way around are collecting honey. I may have a bunch of dead bees in there. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get any honey out. I'm thinking maybe a little bit out of that pitcher. Get about 4 jars maybe, but this is only 8 frames of foundation of honey supers. I still got more to harvest, and I've got my flow hive to harvest. I'm waiting for a product to come in to do that, and we're going to do that next week. And I'm going to do it indoors next time. Yeah, away from bees. And then I'm going to learn how to do it right. This is the first time. First timer, so give me a break. Have a little mercy on me. Like I always promise you guys, I show you my successes and I also demonstrate my failures. Showing off my failures helps you not to do what I did so you don't fail like I did, because I don't want you guys to make the same mistake I did. And if I don't share my mistakes with you guys, you're gonna go fumble along and make those same mistakes. So I'm trying to teach you guys, you know, don't do this. It's not working. Do it indoors. Well, I'm gonna wait until the sun sets, the bees go home and go to bed tonight. I'll clean this up and take the rest of this stuff over to the apiary and set it out in front of the apiary and let the bees clean it up over there and not on my back porch. And then I'll try to harvest what I can out of that pitcher down there, and we'll go from there. I mean, look how well the bees have cleaned this up. This was soaked with honey when I put that down, and now it's completely cleaned out. The bees did a very good job at cleaning that out. Well, I'm Jerry Hansen, your host here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm, a frugal homestead, showing you one of my fails. Yep, I admit it, it's a fail. This part of beekeeping I've never done before, and so I'm learning. Stay tuned to more videos. You can do that by subscribing and clicking that bell icon that alerts you to new videos as I do upload them. Give us a thumbs up, like the show, and also click that share button. Sharing my failures on your social media platforms really helps out the channel's revenue and also really makes me look bad in a good way. Know what I mean? Ka-ching, ka-ching all the way to the bank, baby. Anyway, please leave a comment, compliment, be kind with your criticisms. Please, be kind and be safe. We'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm going to get out of here before I get stung. Bye-bye now.